Hi, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Ocean Yemi's channel. So today, as you can see in the title, there's been a lot of unaliving of people going on, and I heard that there was one in Jamaica. However, I do believe there was some kind of shooting. I haven't seen nobody else talk about it. So what I'm gonna do the American side first, and if I think I gotta add the Jamaican one, I will add it. But I did see something that happened in Jamaica. I can't remember which part of Jamaica it was, in fact, right? So basically there was a shooting or unaliving, I don't know, however the people did. Let me find it, because I always find that when I find it, it's better. All right, so 5 days ago, there was a unaliving of people in Dekalb County. Now, I have been covering Dekalb County and Fulton County a lot on the dark side of Ocean Yemi. So to me, it would not be right if I didn't cover the other stuff, what happens down in Dekalb County or Fulton County. Now, there was a shooting down there. It looked very severe, whatever was going on with it. And yeah. Now, I will go to the CMR, but I will have to be on another live because I feel there's a lot of things going on with CMR. So if I I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to probably come back again. If I have to come back, I'll probably do it on my other device, because I just want to just speak my opinion on that one. But for this one, I'm going to just talk about this one, because there's been a number of unaliving, shootings, however, on a wide scale going on. Right, a recent one was the one with the school, and they're still going through courts now. The boy, I don't like that color. The boy and his family is still going through courts right now, because what they do now, they're holding their parents account for I don't know that color, for when a child or a person goes and does mass shootings. Basically, it's not seen as good, and what they do, they take the parents into account. Now, this situation, I don't know whether it's a different situation like that or what, but I know there was casualties, because they were been talking about it for a couple of days. Like I said, it was 5 days ago, literally 5 days ago. Fulton County, they said there was two. Hold on, was this the same one? So 2 officers got shot and stuff. So there was a lot going on, because they was doing loads and loads and loads of what you call it, public speaking, etc. So I just thought I'll bring this one. I know the picture does not look great, but let me see. It was round about this side here that this happened. So they took in 2 people who did the shooting. So let me see.
Suspect named after 2 DeKalb County police officers shot responding to domestic incident. By Eric Perry, Kevin Stewart, Rob D'Arienzo, and Fox 5 Atlanta digital team. Shot officer still manages to detain shooter.
So this is the
2
shooter.
DeKalb County officers were shot by a 20-year-old suspect whose mother had called police for help. One of the injured officers still managed to pursue the suspect and make the arrest. DeKalb County, GA, 2 police officers were shot Wednesday morning while responding to a domestic situation in the 17,000 block of Waldrop Cove near Panthersville and Clifton Springs Roads in DeKalb County. According to DeKalb County Police Department Chief Mirtha Ramos, 911 received an open line call at approximately 11:12 a.m. The 911 dispatcher could hear arguing over the open line.
There was a domestic.
Reverse button. Play button. Image 3 of 4. 2 DeKalb County police officers were dispatched to a residence on Waldrop Cove. When they arrived, they were met by a woman who said her 20-year-old son was being aggressive and arguing with her and another person. As the police officers approached a bedroom door, the woman's son reportedly opened fire and both officers were struck, one in the leg or hip area, and one in the foot. Chief Ramos told the media that the 20-year-old then jumped out a back window trying to escape, but one of the officers chased the suspect, despite his injury. He took him into custody with the help of officers coming on scene, which displays the bravery of our officers every day, said Chief Ramos. 2 officers shot in DeKalb County. 2 police officers have reportedly been shot and injured in DeKalb County. Police are gathered at an apartment complex off Waldrop Cove. This is breaking news. SkyFOX flew over the scene around 12:10 p.m. and observed at least one person being placed into a police vehicle. One officer was transported by ambulance to Grady Memorial Hospital. The other officer was transported in a patrol car. Reverse button. Play button. Image 1 of 3. Additionally, Chief Ramos explained during a press conference at Grady Memorial that they are still waiting for a search warrant and have not yet recovered the weapon used during the incident. Fox 5 Atlanta spoke to a neighbor who said she left to grab food just before police arrived and came back to utter chaos. "That doesn't happen out here in this neighborhood at all," Brianna Mitchell said. "For a police officer to come out here and get shot, really? This is a well-respected neighborhood." Raw, Chief Ramos provides update on officers shot. Dekalb County Chief of Police Mirtha Ramos gave an update about the shooting involving 2 officers on Wednesday morning in Dekalb County. 2 shot Dekalb County police officers identified. Chief Ramos identified the injured officers as 34-year-old Sergeant Matthews, who has served with DKPD for 11 years, and 34-year-old Officer Howell, who has served for 4. Sergeant Matthews, who was shot in the leg/hip area, is the officer who chased the alleged shooter, according to Chief Ramos. He is expected to be released from the hospital on Thanksgiving Day.
Okay,
Officer Howell was released later Wednesday evening.
No, he's out.
Thanksgiving is a time to be grateful and blessed. So, we are grateful and blessed today. Our officers will be able to spend time with their families, Chief Ramos said. Dekalb County Police shooting suspect identified. 20-year-old identified as police shooter. The man who allegedly opened fire on 2 Dekalb County police officers has been identified as 20-year-old Demetrius Sutherland.
20.
Dekalb County Police have identified the 20-year-old man accused of shooting Sergeant Matthews and Officer Howell as Demetrius Sutherland. Someone who lives in the building, but asked not to be identified, told Fox 5 Atlanta he tried to raise Sutherland right. He said on the day before Thanksgiving, the 20-year-old did something terrible that he'll have to answer for. Credit, Dekalb County Police. He was charged with 1 count of family violence battery and 2 counts of aggravated assault on a police officer. Sutherland is being held at the Dekalb County Jail. The source: this breaking news has been reported by Fox 5 Atlanta's Eric Perry and Rob D'Arienzo from Dekalb County, and Kevin Stewart from Grady Memorial Hospital.
Wow. Okay. See, the way how they made it out like it was loads of people. Hold on. I'm just going to play it.
Suspect named after 2.
The way how it was made. You know, sometimes, right, when you watch news, right, they make out like it was like loads of people got unalived, when in fact it's a 20-year-old who probably didn't get his way. And nearly unalived a few people, right? So the way how it looked like it was a mass shooting, because they put it as mass shooting. So I thought it'd be quite a few people that was injured. So it's 2 officers that was injured in this. You see what I'm saying? You see how the news does take it the next way when it's one way, something else. Okay, let me see. So the residents are talking out. Hold on, I'll let this pass. Okay, so you see how the news does make out something more than what it is. So the 20-year-old, maybe he didn't get his way. You know, there's been a lot of these type of news where like they don't get a phone or something and they throw their weight. This seems like this type of situation here, but I could be wrong.
Approximately 11:12 a.m., 911 received an open line call. What that meant is there's no one else on the other line, but we could hear arguing in the background. 2 officers were dispatched to the residence where they encountered.
So it was a domestic with the 20-year-old and a parent or a grandma or somebody.
The suspect's mother, who advised that her 20-year-old son was behaving aggressively in the home and causing a dispute with her and someone else in the apartment. The officers were directed to the apartment, at which time when they approached the bedroom door, the subject through the door fired several shots at the officers. Both officers were struck in the lower proximities of their body. Both are stable. They're currently being treated in the hospital behind us, and we are hoping that they're going to be okay. At this moment, they're conscious and they're alert. And one thing I would like to point out is that after one of the officers was shot, he still pursued the subject. He took him into custody with the help of the other officers that were coming on scene, which just demonstrates the bravery that our officers need to display every day. So the fact that he was able to continue going while he was still shot in the leg was very impressive, and we're very proud of all of our officers here today.
Chief, we saw one ambulance come through. Were both officers in that ambulance? And when you say the lower parts of the body, you said one was shot in the leg. Can you tell us where the other one was shot?
One was shot on the foot. And only one officer was brought in by ambulance. The other officer was brought in by a peer. So we put him in the back of one of our patrol cars and brought him in just to make sure that he got the service that he needs it. And yes, he's in the hospital as well.
Can you tell us about the suspect?
The suspect is a 20-year-old male. He is currently in custody, and we're interviewing him as we speak.
Have you had any dealings with him before? It sounds like this was a domestic, right?
Yes. We don't know. At this time, we're still investigating. We're still even waiting on the search warrant so that we can search the home, find the weapons, and get additional information at this time. We just wanted to provide the status of the officers.
Anyone else indicate whether or not that suspect had any mental health?
As I said, we have not even entered the home yet. We had to retreat, get a search warrant so we can do a good search. And so we are just piecing all the pieces together now.
Was anyone else at home? Did somebody else get hurt?
And blessed today that our officers will be able to spend Thanksgiving with their families.
I'm sorry about the interruption, people. I hate when that happens, but you know, I work through it, don't I? So yeah, so it's good that how the I mean, I don't like police like that, to be honest, but to lose your life on the job, especially if you're good police and you're doing service and you reach to a domestic and you get unalived in the process, it's like, you know, it's very, very sad moment. I feel for some of the families, but I just thought I'd bring it because it is strange. I don't even know whether you caught half of that because the thing was played up so freaking much. But it's good that they recovered and they got back to their family in time. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving and all that stuff, but I know it's something to do with family and being thankful for a lot of stuff. So they have a lot to be thankful for. So I hear where she's coming from on that, right? So what I'm gonna do now, I just found the one in Jamaica as well. There was actually a mass shooting in Jamaica as well. Let me see if I can bring it up. Hold on, I'm coming. This is right. Okay, so we're back to the Jamaican one now. There was actually a mass shooting in Jamaica. I think I saw a few people talking about it, but I'm not sure. I can't even remember. I did see the news cover a little bit of it. So what I'm going to put this up now. As I'm talking about mass shooting, I really want to know what's going on. Must be something in the water. People just on destructive era business right now. That's how I feel. Something in the air, something in the water, something going on. That's why I'm like, what the hell is going on? People are going through whatever they're going through, and this, I don't know whether they're fed up with life, whatever. They just want to just get rid of a couple people in the long run. That's how it comes over to me. You could tell me I'm wrong. I don't know. That's how it feels like to me.
Right here at this bar off Waltham Park Road. The blood of the dead men still on the concrete in front of the bar. The car belonging to one of the men still parked outside. It's the latest incident of a mass killing here in Jamaica. It's left community members shaken and scared. We've come to talk to them to find out how they're doing in the aftermath of the killings. And also on the program this evening, we'll be talking to experts asking why we're now seeing this happening here in Jamaica. Thanks so much for joining me. This is All Angles. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. Stay tuned. Can you just tell me what kind of community this is?
Well, it's very quiet. Most of the persons here, it's a Christian community, I would say, because most persons go to church, very quiet, very loving. We share a lot. As you see, I have bananas and those things, and we share amongst one another. But most of all, very quiet and a lot of working class persons.
When people hear this kind of killing taking place, they think that, boy, is it that it was a lot of violence going on before, or was the place tense? And what was it? Was that any of that happening?
No, nothing like that happened. It was quiet as usual. No gang violence. We go out to come in as we have a mind. Nothing was going on. We weren't aware of anything that was going on.
We used to see guys just walk around and gun sometimes, but some died, some gone firing, so it kind of cool off for years. So for here, this is popping up back. So because I want to tell you, when I just came here, guys from over that crossroad, side was in war years back.
You were telling me that you've lived there for years. Has this kind of thing happened before?
Never. I've never seen this type of thing happen before. Never.
How did you hear of what had happened?
Well, actually, I was in my house when I heard the gunshots, and because of the intensity and the loudness of it, we thought that something must have happened.
Were you scared?
Yes, I was very, very, very scared.
I was watching the news and I hear.
What that sounded like?
Why sound? I said, my wife, still know my wife. They say, but it sound like Vietnam. Somebody died. Somebody must die.
Why you said that?
Totally shot them so close. So close.
Yes.
I was inside my bedroom, sitting down, and I hear the barrage gunshot them, and my two little granddaughter. One was in her room, she ran in my room. And the next little one was on the bed in my room. And I said, lay down on the bed, don't move. I hear some explosion. I don't know it was gunshots. So, wife get panic, start running up in the house and thing. And, I just go in the hall with her and granddaughter. So I just stay inside here with them till when it stopped, I came out and get back in bedroom.
Were you scared?
Yes, I will, but not as.
Of course he's scared. He can lose his life at any moment. Knowing that how you've been living in a quiet place for a long time, and all of a sudden you're hearing shots ringing out. You're not exactly gonna be calm about, are you? I don't know. I kind of understand why she asked him that question. Was he scared? you will be in fear of your life. Not only that, the one where like she said that how she tell her grandchildren or granddaughters to lie back down. Like shots can penetrate through walls and certain places. You know what I mean? You have to be so careful when you hear of these things going on in the area, right? And they said that how right they've been living there for how long, and there was right, they are a community of people, a community of neighbors. They share food, they eat together, everything, and it's like all of a sudden now it come disturbed. It's disturbed by chaos, like what I mean. So of course, man's gonna be scared. He ain't gonna be like, nah, I'm not scared. Of course he's gonna say, and I like he was honest because he said he was scared. Of course you're gonna be scared. You ain't gonna be like the hero and go jump in front of the shots, are you?
Cheese, because I was living in what house before, and we just used to the gunshot. But after the gunshot, people came out and went up there. So I just go up there to in the crowd and see what the men them lying down on the ground.
What was that like, just seeing?
Bad. Because the guy, two brothers who died, they were my friends.
When I come out, when I drink, man, work with me. Always work with me. I would know probably about a year now, come work with me, but him always pass him up there, so. And so, and we heal one another, talk to one another. These two gentlemen down here, so, come like I'm a bridging them, see me, two brothers will die.
So after I sit down inside there and me hear crying up there. So, notice me hear people moving on the street going up there. So I come outside and stand up and me look. And when me look, me see a young man was passing what I know. But at the time I never remember his name. But I know his mother. So I say, Miss Essie's son, what happened? And he tell me that Chicken, Michael, and he called the next name to me. So I say, I don't know that person. And he said, Michael, brother. All of them died up there. So I say, what? And he said, yes. And he walked away and was crying. He never stand up to finish the argument with him, walk away and was.
And they're known people as well. So they must have grown up together. And whatever happened come between them, and boy, that's dread, That's real dread.
Crying and stand up here until I went inside.
When you found out what it was, how did you react to that? How did that make you feel?
Boy, I was numb actually, to be honest. I was numb. I couldn't cry. I couldn't pray. I was just numb. I just couldn't imagine that something like this was happening, It was an awful feeling, awful.
The most thing where burn me and hurt me is my virgin die. Or the amount of shot we get, a back we get the shot in the air. Right now you find blood up there right now, see him up there. Not too long I'm going out the road and somebody see me and say, why? Who you manage me? Say, why? God is so good. God is so good. I tell you.
So how you feel like when you pass a spot knowing what happened?
Why? It's bad I missed it, but me have to just make it just. I can't do nothing. I have to just. But anytime I pass that spot, I just come like it just. Memory.
I heard that is 3 of them was lying down up there dead. But I heard that is 6 of them get shot. But when I hear and know that I know 3 of them, I can't tell you how I feel. I feel it like it's my own. Because the 3 of them is people who I talk to. I ask them to do things for me, they go and do it. And whenever time, especially Chicken, if I'm
And she all calling them by their nicknames, you know. She's calling them literally by their nicknames because it's like she know them high hood. She know who which is which. So these people that she's talking about, she's seen them growing up around the area. You know what I'm saying? That's why it hurt her so much, because to know that how she probably see these people grow up, they've been helping her out, doing errands for her, all sorts of stuff, and the next thing you know, she's fine. She see them lying down on the ground and all this. You know what I mean? I could not imagine being in that position. I would not want to be. I don't want to imagine being in that position, knowing that how I see children grow up who's now men helping me, all this stuff, and then the next thing you know, right, you hear that how right they're all in, right, something happened to them. That's why I said it's dread. It's dread out there. It's dread. You see, I just like, you know, I just did one mass shooting in Dekalb, and I come over to Jamaica, and it's like, you know, I really be wondering what be going on, what is in the air, why this is happening, why, like, you know what I mean? Even though the other one was a domestic, this seems more like to do with territory situation, maybe, because it's the same with in Trinidad. There used to be a big old, I don't know whether they still do it now. They used to fight over territory. So I don't know whether these men is linked to territory or is territorial or something. But Andrew Holness do actually have something to say about this, and I'm gonna put him up as well, because there'll be a lot of things that be going on in the West Indies, and it's like sometimes the government don't do a lot. They don't try to save the people, the children, and certain stuff. So then it's left to the area now to try to save a couple people, try to get them out of certain stuff. And like, you know, like some people don't shit on their doorstep, basically. And maybe this is what happened in this case. I'm not guessing. I don't even want to speculate. I'm just thinking, like, in real time, that's probably what happened, because the lady sound very old. She sound like a grandma, possibly. You know what I mean? So that she remember them doing all these errands for her and all that stuff, you know? Hold on.
From here, I his pet name. I don't know his other name. From a come around here, I hear them call him Chicken. So I call him Chicken too. So anything I want to do, I say, Chicken, no want you go see some pallet for me. The last thing you do for me around 2 weeks ago, I need some pallet to make a little bench to sit around the back of my yard. And I asked him to go for it, and he bring 5 pallets to come and give me. And when he bring the 5 pallets and give me, and he was leaving, I give him $500 and say, put that in your pocket.
The way how they said it was a mass. And I know a mass is like, you know, like you said, a mass one when they go into the place and they shoot up everybody and da, 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 da. But this one, it's like, it seems like it's territorial. Like these men was targeted in some form. To me, that's how it comes over, like it was a targeted thing. No, it wasn't in the school. It was in an area in a part of Jamaica. The men look like, that sounds like, shall I say, sounds like, because she ain't showing their faces, and it's good that she ain't showing their faces, you know. It sounds like they grow up there, they grow up in the area, and somebody or something or whoever send people to come for them, and now they end up in like you know what I mean. Whereas the other one was more domestic. In the cab one is more domestic, and the two police people get shot in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So it you know, like I said, like, you know, like we hear of all these shootings, but the way how they word it, what to me, it sounds like as though it was a lot of people, but it's 4 people. Now in the Dekalb one, it was 2, and not that it takes away the incentive of what it is, right? It's just what I'm saying is that how the what you call it, the media should have worded it differently, because it wasn't a mass. right? With the Jamaican one, that could have been a mess because there's houses near where it happened, right? So even though the grandma or the parents said to the children, go back to sleep, because they could have been gone too. Because remember, bullets go through places, right? Bullets can go through wood and cement, right? So I mean, I mean, like you cannot imagine what they be thinking when this happened, because like, you know, it could sound like firework, it could sound like, but they must know how it sounds, because the guy said that how he come from an area where where it happens a lot. So so he come to an area now where it was quiet, you know, where everybody neighbor, they share things, they do things together, you know what I'm saying? And then like you come now and then this happens. So 4 men pass, right? And they're calling them by their names, what, you know, like how people have names for children when they're coming up, they call them certain names. That's why it sounds like to me. And they might be young, they might be very young men. So you know what I mean? I just thought instead of going backwards, I thought let me bring it up a little bit. But I'm gonna go backwards because I want to see and hear from the Prime Minister what he think on what did he think when he went there, because like they can stop things from happening, because remember, arms be coming from all different places as well, you know what I'm saying? Then it's territory, then the gangs fight over territory and all sorts of situation, like, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those ones, you know. Hold on, I'm gonna highlight people. Okay, I'm coming.
And he said, thanks, auntie. He called me auntie. He said, thanks, auntie. But people around come and, you know, when they come to buy something, they still sad about it. No, just like, you know, and what happened shouldn't happen, because men, them, innocent people, them kill. And we know, because, you know, we don't know those people died as no gun, as no bad people. Still. Some of them, because you just 2 of them I can give account, like these two who live in.
And now he said that now, so 2 of them was not part of no gang related, but it sounds like it's kind of weird, man. I mean, yes, innocent people get caught in crossfire and all that stuff. I think that's where it comes more. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong words, you know. I mean, I don't want to say the wrong words, you know, because their family have to deal with the grief and everything else with it. See, I thought it was to do with territory. Now he said that now. Okay. 2 of them. So he can speak for 2, but he can't speak for the other ones. So I don't know, man. That's kind of sad still, you know what I mean? Anyhow you flip it, right? Nobody would want to hear that their son or sons are unalive or whatever. It don't matter. I mean, yes, bad ones still need what you call it too, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's all right. It's mad times. I mean, like, of course, these things have been going on for years. Like, you know, Dundas and all them stuff, all them people that was in Jamaica for years, right? Sometimes there be over who you voting and certain stuff that even when you're near your neighbor, you can't even tell your neighbor who you voting for, right? It gets that deep. Now in Trinidad is Rasta against Muslim and all this stuff and areas and you know what I mean? Even like I can even say it's the same in England where it used to be a postcode thing where people couldn't travel, boys couldn't travel to certain places because if they see them, they want to know who they are, why they're here. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. But this man, he's good. He put his face on. He ain't talking behind no camera. He's talking. He's showing his face, and you know. I don't know what to say, to be honest. I'm not gonna even cast aspersions, or I don't know. I just know that I could not live in that situation. I feel sorry for the children that has to grow up in these situations, where they have to duck and dive and go around, and you know what I mean? And then I don't know, man. I'm not gonna, let me just let it play, yeah.
Yeah. But the other guys outside, we don't know nothing about it.
What has happened since that?
Well, nothing, nothing has really happened. I mean, the Prime Minister came by yesterday, and I saw other police and soldiers and so came by.
But for the Prime Minister, it's more a photo op. He might not do nothing, because this guy is also known for taking long to move on certain things. Nzinga King is a good example. He took long to move on her thing. He takes long to do certain stuff, okay? Right? Because I've covered about this guy. This guy takes forever to do stuff in Jamaica. He does, right? And then it's like, if he didn't get called out on certain things, he probably would not have reached it. The last time when people passed, he took so long to reach to the parents and the mother and certain stuff. That's why I know sometimes when he does certain things, it's all a photo op for him. He ain't necessarily is going to do something. You can just hope that he does something, and hope that how the people get their justice for their children, or the family gets justice for their children.
And did their little thing, but we haven't seen anything. We just stay in. One of the young man that died, that's his car, and it is still parked there.
The white car was
Yes.
in there, is his car?
Right. And there were two brothers.
Ninja Turtles in Hero Wars. The legendary RPG Hero Wars welcomes new heroes to the battlefield. Unleash their full power.
Nothing has really happened. Everybody just stay in and, trying to fathom what happened.
So has it been, because you speak of people staying in, so has it made people fearful then?
Yes, certainly. Yes. I know there are some fears because of this never happened before. Persons are feeling fearful right now.
It affects me a lot, a lot, because as I said, my virgin, every time I stop, and even when I'm weeding up out by the gate there, he pass and we run a joke as, St. Mary man and thing. So, it just make you feel bad. I'm scared to go up the road. I'm scared. I might bring my granddaughter to school Monday. I don't go back through the gate. You don't go to school yesterday, she go to school today, I don't go.
Do you feel less safe because of what happened?
No, right now.
Kind of feel less safe, but I was talking to somebody again too early. I said, listen, this time is one thing whole town where the town is see and blind and hear and deaf.
So I just want to check, and it says 5 people that passed that got unalived, basically. So when you talk about colder silence, right? What the man is saying, he's definitely talking about colder silence. See and blind and hear and deaf, right? So, I don't know. I do feel for them in a way, because, look how quiet the street look. The street looks so quiet. They hardly want to come out. They're scared for their life in a kind of way. They can't live. You can't live like that. You know what I'm saying? It's, boy.
And if you can see and blind and hear and deaf, you're good.
You mentioned that the Prime Minister as well as security forces have been by. Are you happy with the reaction in terms of how they, whether or not how they're responding, whether you feel safe, whether you feel that the security forces are keeping an eye on the situation?
Well, I wouldn't say I feel safe. I know that sometimes, these things is just a one day, and that's what I feel will happen. You understand? And I honestly don't know what will happen from here on.
Is there anything in particular you would want to see the security forces do that you think would make the community feel a little safer?
Well, patrolling maybe would be a good thing, but I don't know if it would really help. If it would really help, because as I said, nothing as this, has ever happened before. We don't see, persons coming in with guns and so to do people anything. So we don't know why or where it is coming from. So I don't know how much that would help.
We've seen in recent times a lot more of these types of multiple killings, mass killings in Jamaica. Does that concern you?
Yes, it does. It does, it does concern me, because I realize more and more that persons, they are just heartless, And really, I believe that only God can change this.
Boy, that's dread, It's dread. Anyway, I'm not cutting too quick. I'm just going to show what Mr. Holness had to say about all this, because this was 6 weeks ago. Let me see if it's going to come up. Yeah, 6 weeks ago. With a sound. Oh, Lord, with a song.
We are very disturbed by this, but I invite Jamaica and the press who are here with us to recall that a few weeks ago we had a press conference at the office of the Prime Minister to discuss what we saw as an emerging trend in violence and in particular homicides in Jamaica. This is as a result, we theorize, from our very effective approach in neutralizing, eradicating, and in many respects disbanding gangs in Jamaica. We have moved from over 300 documented gangs to now just under 180, and we continue to degrade and eradicate them. It is a natural response for 5 persons to die within less than 15 minutes of each incident occurring. And the nature of how it happened, this is a bar with an outdoor area for entertainment. Jamaicans all over, we gather, we sit around a domino table, we have fun. This is how we socialize. And for someone or a group of persons to believe that it is, okay to just walk up onto the street side and shoot innocent persons, from all intents and purposes so far, what the police have concluded is that none of these persons here were necessarily involved in any gang activity. It is inexplicable. It is dastardly. And it should never, ever be accepted or normalized in the society. And that is what we are grappling with, Commissioner, when we try to deal with gangs. Whilst the police have not definitively concluded in this specific instance that it is a gang-related matter, from what we are seeing so far, it is highly likely that it is a gang-related. The challenge, of course, is that the communities that are involved may not necessarily identify the players as being involved in a gang, because by and large, the community members would not be necessarily aware of the intricacies and details as to how these gangs operate. We have to deal with this, and we will deal with this. We will not relent in degrading, eradicating, and eliminating gangs and gang members. And I want to be absolutely clear on this. I've given a policy directive that these multiple victim violent incidents must be dealt with specially. We're going to make the necessary change in laws to deal with them. We consider them acts of terror, and we are examining the law to see what other penalties, what other deterrents can be placed in the law to prevent criminals and criminal-minded operational perspective resources to deal with the problem.
Is gang related. But the guy said, I don't know. I mean, people can be in an era where gangs are affiliated, but like some of them might not be part of the gang, and they can just caught up. They can be the innocent party in the middle of the gang. Yes, we love to socialize and all that stuff, but the strength of that is that how right. You know, I hope he's not going to be one of those where he gets people to snitch on, because you know what happens when they are snitches in gangs and stuff like that, like innocent families, because remember, a whole gang can take out a whole family, right? Is that deep, right? They can do numbers of things, right? There's always, you know, I always talk about the consequences on certain stuff there is. And even if he does move and he does control certain stuff, right, and say he's an act of terrorism or whatever, is it really going to deter them? Because the next thing you know, right, they're going to get youngsters to do the work for them. You know what I mean? Because like what they tend to do when they know that how big a years they're going to get, they tend to get young ones to do it, and it seem as initiation into gangs, where they will tell them to go do certain things, go move certain things, go and, you know what I mean? It's a deep one, you know what I mean? It's a deep one. You hear these stories like on certain places where like people are trying to get out of gangs, can never get out of gangs. The only way they can get out of the gang is if they leave the country. But even when you leave the country, you still have to be careful where you go, because the gang don can have somebody in the place where you at, or they know of someone. You know, everybody's linked to somebody somehow. It's world is scary like that, right? So, okay, when I'm gonna see how he's gonna come at this, yeah, because remember, he's got a lot to prove to the. And as much as there is law-abiding citizens get caught up in the certain moves or do certain stuff pertaining to, because they said 2 was not involved. Maybe the 2 was, but the 2 they was innocent bystanders, and they got unalive innocently, right? Probably being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, stuff happens where it comes up like that. Yeah, take a lot of things into consideration. If he's gonna do it, he will consideration taking certain stuff, protection of families, protections of certain people, right? It's a, you know, the criminal thing does go further than just like in the place, in the area, on the island. It could come out of the island. You know what I mean? So I'm just thinking of possibilities. So if he's going to do something, he better make sure he do it good. Make sure it's done in hopes of protection of ones who's in the area. Right, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just thought I'd bring this, even though the Cap one did not come out properly, but with the Jamaica one, it's a whole different something. Like, but they call it a mass, but it wasn't a mass. Thank goodness, touch wood, it wasn't a mass. But it could have been that way. It could have been. There could have been a lot of people in that area that could have been on a live now, right? People could have been waking up and hearing that story. I mean, and it's not even good that it's 5 people that passed within that area, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it right there. You can tell me, for people in the Jamaicas, in the islands, in the island people, whether you're from Jamaica, because you know in Trinidad and all over, right, we more or less go through the same. It's more or less the same circumstances. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to hear from you people what you think of all this, because like he moves slow on a lot of stuff. Andrew Holness is one of those ones where he says a whole lot of promises and a whole lot of stuff and a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that, and he takes forever to do stuff, forever, right? Like I always talk about Nzinga King. I remember when I covered Nzinga King and how the police dealt with her, even though she ain't linked to no gang or nothing or whatever. I think she had a slight mental problem or something. And they trim her locks and all sorts of things went that. He took long to move on that before he spoke out on her situation. You know what I'm saying? So I know say he moved long on certain stuff. Okay. So I'm not just talking, it's what I've seen, okay, on the airwaves, right? So world need to be said in the ones who's left Jamaica add to it so they could get him to move his ass on certain stuff, because he ain't gonna move for now. Right. Like they said, they hope it's not for one day he came there and then nothing's done. Because to a photo op, even when they turned up to Mama Gwen's stuff, when her niece and I think it's the grandchildren and daughter died, it was all a photo op. I do really believe that. They genuinely use that for political reasons, and it's not about the politicalness. It's the safety of the people, right? The people have to feel safe on the island. Okay, they have to feel safe on the island. Right? No, like they talk about high minds, like they talk about tourism and all that stuff. That all adds to it. Now, like, you know what I mean? And I'm talking as a West Indian, Caribbean myself, right? It don't matter whether I'm born over here, born over there, born over there. I'm talking as one who has lived in Trinidad, where like you see and you hear. You know what I mean? You literally grow up in all that. That is not normal. I'm talking from that point of view. I want to hear what the rest of the Jamaicans is going to say on this. I feel like I need to listen. It's important that everybody has a say, whether you're in the Jamaicans or not. It's important, you know what I'm saying? And if he's going to do this, he better make sure he do it properly, like, well. You know what I mean? You know? So, like I said, like, condolences to the family on a whole. That's why I play that music. When I come in, I play my roots, because that there just shows like there's something going on. You know, the law, I mean, the law is either not doing its side of the things or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying not to put too much speculation, conspiracy theory and whatever, right? The man more or less say, like the woman said that she know them from when they were doing errands helping her out, getting whatever else they were doing. You know what I'm saying? And then like you wake up at all children grow up in the same. It happens. Next thing you know, right, and it's ongoing. So I just thought I'll bring this to the airwaves and the long waves and the different waves, because I want to hear for those who come from these sides, who was born, have parents from them sides. It don't matter whether you're American, whatever, right? As long as you know where you are from, that how do you feel about all this? How do you feel about this? Yeah, right. Let's straight out, honestly, right? Please go in the comment section and tell me how you feel, and like, and I'll come back. I won't come back today because of the time now, but I will come back with another live. And if you want me to expand on this, or we can have a conversation, because there is the conversation, and I hope Joranic is around as well, because I want her spin on certain stuff. Her and Sonia and General, like they like whenever they can pop up, when I go to do that live with you guys, can pop up and put in your 5 pence on how you see certain stuff too, right? Because we all have a voice, you know what I'm saying? And it don't matter where you come from. You know, Peter Tosh have that saying, and no matter where you come from, right? You're African or West Indian, wherever. It don't matter, right? So, and you know, like, I ain't gonna go into all the lyrics and all that stuff, right? But you know what I mean, okay? Those who know. Those who don't know, well, I don't know what to tell you. But with that said, I'm gonna log off. I'm going to come off and I'll speak to you soon. So thank you, Sonia, Hood, and Mind's Eye for coming through. And I'll see you in the next one. I know I gotta cut it up now, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it? I'll probably lose the chat, but you know, it is what it is. Let me make sure and highlight Hood and Mind's Eye stuff and Sonia stuff so I can see you when I cut it. Alright. So with that said, I'll see you. Take care. Bye. Thank you for coming through.